Well, it gives me great pleasure to have another fan roundtable, episode 75. There wasn't one last week because no bugger was interested. But this week, I've got some lovely gentlemen here, Windy John, Big Malk, and Wills himself to join me. Hello, gents. How are we all?
Yeah, fine, mate.
All good, Chris.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Good, good. Right then. Saturday's game was called off, obviously, because of the death of our Queen. So we didn't have a game Saturday, but we had a game last night, Tuesday, a magnificent 1-0 win. Myself and Windy were there. So Malcolm and Wills are going to be very quiet at this moment. Windy, what did you think of the game?
I just thought it was brilliant, mate. Honestly, they ran their hearts out. They didn't stop running. Don't know what Gary had been saying to them, but they were really up for it. It didn't create loads of chances, did we? But just looked so solid at times. And the shape was good. The speed passing was good. I don't think there's a lot to worry about, really. I mean, did Louis touch the ball?
Not very often.
Don't remember him making a save.
I think Ollie said that he had about one thing to do, one save. I mean, that really says a lot about the defence, doesn't it? I mean, we now, was it 3 clean sheets in a row? I won't do any Chris Laverick clean sheet jokes. I'll try and abstain from that. But
you always do them. It's always you that's doing them. But yeah, go on.
But I mean, what fantastic to come up into this league and to be such a tough defence to breach, which I'm sure this run will carry on. You know, this sounded very good. You know, to take 3 points, hard working, hard graft. That's what you can't ask for more, can you? And then that bit of swagger with the penalty.
Just a bit. Oh,
I'll tell you what. With that penalty, he did everything that I usually think the player's going to miss it. He turned his back on the ball, yeah, and he started fanning and doing all this fit. And I'm like, this is going 15 yards over the bar. And no, it weren't. It was fantastic. Did you see the goal, Malk?
Yeah, I did. I see it on. Yeah, it was on Instagram or Twitter as well today. So yeah, he just ambled up there, didn't he? He's very confident of himself. He's old Joe.
Young lad.
I actually thought he was going to go up and just re-spot the ball.
Yeah,
I've actually seen that happen where someone goes down and then as they go down, they bang it in because the keeper's not ready. But no, he put that away so well.
It was funny because they were trying to mess about with him. The goalie defender was messing about with him, and he just did not look at. He was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever, mate." It was just, yeah, he's going places. That boy. Well, you know, he's doing the right things at the moment. You know.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he's strong, isn't he? It's the first time I've seen him personally. So yeah, I was impressed with him. He's 17. I try to think back when what I look like at 17. I look like one of his arms, I think.
We don't want him doing too well, do we, at the moment?
No.
Someone was telling me there was someone in from Gillingham watching the game.
Oh.
I can't remember who was telling me, but they were pointing me out in the stand that apparently someone from Gillingham was there. But I mean, you can't blame him. He's doing well, and good luck to the lad. It was obviously after that Cray performance where we got hammered in the cup. It's night and day. I mean, the lads were brilliant. I mean, multiple players played brilliantly, but I mean, particularly Sam Adams. Jesus Christ.
He was unbelievable.
He chased
35 and he didn't stop running for the whole of the game he was on there. The whole time he was on there. It's just unbelievable. It made me laugh when Joe had the ball up front and he was beating 1, beating 2, beating Sammy was going, give it to me, Joe, give it to me. And he took it on. And Sammy gave him a right here for 35 against 17. Yeah.
You could reel them off. I mean, particularly Sammy, because of the way he closed down lost causes. You know, he really put a lot of pressure on their team. But Breffo had a great game, I felt. Jack Dixon had a quality game. Sam Hasler had a quality game. I thought Kane Penn played well, even though they were.
Yeah, he did.
it's getting stuck into him.
He nearly scored, didn't he? With a little layoff from bit of a shuffle from Nori, and he passed it over to him. Yeah, it's a nice little move, that.
And Tom Chalmers carries on being excellent. You know,
I think with Elliot now, that's really freed him up, and he's pushing forward. And those two are getting an understanding now. You can see it as well. It's just starting to click down that right hand side, and that's a good sign.
But they're having to bring him down now, Malk. So many runs he was making TC, and it's just we have to bring him down. You know, there were so many times he was either drawing the foul, if you get what I mean, or just being taken out. And well, it was great stuff to watch.
Which the trouble is, he's got to stay injury free, isn't he? If people are gunning for him like that, but he said he was a very worthy player of the month, wasn't he? Or
he was, yeah. Supporters, fans, player of the month. I know Keegan and Shannon from the supporters club presented the trophy to TC, so he was very happy about that.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's on his mantelpiece.
Penn is really coming along as well, isn't he? Do you think he's improving a lot already? I don't know. He's just, for me, I mean, I haven't seen him for a bit, and he just, last night, till they brought him down, didn't they, just before half time, took his legs away, and I thought, oh, he's not going to come out second half, and he was fine. But they really clobbered him as well. Right? How that
physical team.
They were. And referee let a bit too much go at times.
Yeah, well, I was happy he was lenient. Yeah, I was going to say I was lucky he was lenient with Ben, because I thought, oh, you've just come on and got yourself sent off. But yeah, he brought this bloke down, chaps, and then kind of got definite yellow. Should we say definite yellow?
Yeah.
And then he's gone up to him. He's the biggest lad on the pitch as well. This number 6 was like about 7 foot tall. And he's just gone up to him, just pat him on the back, you know, like, yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah, I think the referee must have been religious and really asked him for his name. He thought, better not give him red. Yeah. As far as the referee, that's quite, sensible, really. I mean, only just come on, hasn't he?
Yeah, you don't want to
give him a bit of
It's a bit like the penalty. You don't want to be sending people off. Like, I know a lot of people calling for sendings off. I'm not a fan of that.
No.
You know, you've got the penalty.
Yeah.
Let's not maybe ruin the game.
But wasn't he through goal scoring opportunity? Like, no defenders behind it. I mean, isn't that the rules? You either have the rules or you don't.
All right, John. Well, yeah, right. The
but with the, okay, and a sending off would have, that changes the game completely. Although we still won it. I mean, if we hadn't and lost 2-1, we would have said, well, actually, if you'd applied the rules, we would have played the second half with a man extra and won the game.
Yeah.
No, John, I would have stuck to my guns. I wouldn't have completely said the opposite. Well, I don't know. We didn't lose though, John. So that was quite good. No, I don't like seeing the players sent off. I'm not a fan of it, myself. But the rules are the rules. I suppose that it was a group of players. You could argue someone else could have caught up with him, but he definitely.
Yeah, I think that's why he didn't give it as a red, because there was somebody coming in sideways. He probably would have had a sliding tackle on him. Whether he would have brought him down as well, I don't know. But
that's it. Yeah, we could have had a double sending off there.
Could have had 2 penalties.
Well,
it wasn't clean one on last man. I didn't think it was anyway. I thought it'd been a bit harsh myself, but
just going back to you mentioned about Kane Penn, Malcolm. I mean, what do the players, and I mean, what do you think as well about Kane Penn? Have you seen improvement since the start of the season? I mean, I know it's early days.
Difficult because he's only young, but I think personally he's been the most improved, and I know Craig really thinks highly of him, and he's, in my opinion, like I say, he's been the most improved. He's grown up really quickly and come into this league and excelling at this level. I really like it. I like Kane.
Yeah.
talking to defenders, Malk. I mean, Stoney in the ear of Finn. You know, how's Finn these months? Because obviously he's out of the team. That doesn't mean he's out of the team forever. You know, it's a long season. I mean, Finn's is his spirit still high? He's on the bench. Yeah, I know he's on the bench.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris, to be fair. You know, I was quite surprised as much as anyone. And the problem is when you got Breffo playing so well, if you want to play three at the back, you know, then obviously Finney comes in. But when you're playing with four, you know, or whatever formation you want to start with, you know, then you know, Finney getting sent off and that sort of thing, that sort of thing happens, you know, and he's just got to wait his chance, get back in, and you know, and prove that he deserves to stay there. And it's a good thing, as we look at it. But you know, Finney might not, you know, and it's a good thing that you got somebody as good as him that's on the bench.
That bench yesterday is as strong as I've seen it for a long time. You know, I mean, you had Worrell, Pope, Cavallo, Omar, and Hull, all on the bench. You know, they probably all of them could have played last year easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
easily, yeah.
And you know, they're all doing really well. It's good bit of competition. They've all got to fight for their places, haven't they? So.
And it's a long season, isn't it? They'll all be coming and going and in and out and all that all year round. So it's good to see a bench that strong this early in the season.
I felt this was, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I'm just a fan we're just behind the goal as well, so the view isn't greatest. But I thought this was Breffo's best game last night. I mean, have you spoke with Stoney yet, Malks?
No, I rang him earlier, tried to get a bit of a catch up before tonight, but no, I haven't spoken to him. But if you think it was Breffo's best game, then he must have played exceptional, because he's had some great games this year.
Fantastic. Yeah.
What did your boy think, John? What did your boy think
about
Breffo?
Yeah, he loves him. You know, he's just got that composure, determination. He's got the strength on the ball. I was just thinking, I can see them. I know Gary obviously. I think he played similar a few games ago, but of having, you know, if I don't know what the thing is with Finn at the moment, but as was said, it's good to have that competition for places. But I could see them playing in the same side if he plays a 4 and then has Breffo in that kind of, what's his name, Mascherano type role, sitting in front of the back 4, defending, tidying up, because Breffo, he can play the ball, can't he? He's got a footballing brain there. He's not just a brawn type tackler. So you know, can anyone else see him kind of in them both in the same side and him playing that role just in front of the 4?
Not yet. I don't think so. But
no, I think pre-season we played him centre and mid, and I think that's where I wasn't sure about him. I think his touch wasn't brilliant, and I think he likes all the play actually in front of him, and I can't see him anywhere. I can't see him in that position, John, where you're saying just in front of the back 4. I think he's got to be in a back 3, and I think it's between him, Craig, and Finney. You know, you just got to play a 2 there, because he is the art of his, and what makes him so good is that he's what's the word I'm looking for? But if he makes a mistake or if the ball's over the top, you know, he makes up for it in pace and getting back there. So he's just so good at that, and I don't think his touch is actually good enough to sit in front of the back 4. You're looking at more of a Emlyn Hughes, Alan Hansen role then for him. Yeah, I think he's big, strong, you know, and he makes up for anything else, a ball over the top, he makes up for with pace and strength and that sort of thing. But I don't think he's yet. He could learn it, you know. He's still young. He's only 19, you know, and so, you know, it's part of, you know, sort of development. Playing just in front of the back four, but I see it more as a out of them two, out of them three, or if they play a back three, you know, five across the back, if you like, or want of a better word, you know, that he can play his central role there, or left-sided and Craig right-sided with Finney in the middle.
I see him as slightly different, I suppose, slightly from a different angle. And what I really think he's got is this anticipation for the ball, hasn't he? You know, he's yes. playing the game in his head, and he's not just there for the 50-50 and coming out winning those. He knows where to put himself. He's anticipating what's happening in the game, and yeah, he's an absolutely great player for the club, you know, and they're the ones you want to retain, aren't they? You know, his quality for the team.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was definitely a good signing. Talking of signings, moving on to obviously Kai Brown's gone. I didn't think so. I didn't think too much. You know, I was probably sort of a wait and see with Kai Brown. Him moving on, I expect someone else will be coming in. I don't think it hits the squad too badly. What do you chaps think?
No, I think at the moment they're quite solid. Yeah, you're going to get some suspensions as well at some stage, aren't you? And that's when it might the squad might get a bit depleted. I think Sam Hasler picked up a yellow yesterday, didn't he? You know, they soon mount up, don't they? He had a brilliant game again, didn't he? Some of those pings that he was pinging from 40, 50 yards straight out onto the right wing. Bloody hell.
Yeah, he got all the bad stuff out in the friendlies and the first game, and he's definitely improved, hasn't he?
The midfield at the moment, I mean, Dicko had fairly quiet, as in his usual physical, but he was clearing up so much stuff.
Yeah.
There was a few stray passes in the first half, and he picked up on them, tidied it up, and away we went. And that wasn't happening. It's happening now, and that's where I think we said, didn't we, in that very first game of the season, we're making mistakes and you can't afford to make mistakes. Well, yesterday we made a few mistakes like that, and Dicko was there clearing them up.
Yeah, he anticipated.
Where he wasn't there at the beginning. Yeah, I think it's just looking good, but you know, still a long way to go, isn't it? But yeah, good stuff. Oh, I think Nori as well. He had a quiet game, but at times he was brilliant. And then that time in the second half, he came down the left wing, and he should have had a shot, but he passed it to Sam. He just hasn't got the confidence. He's bless him. He's playing so well, and he doesn't even realise it.
Funny enough, I was standing next to Kenny Poe. Kenny Poe came, the legend Kenny Poe.
Yeah, saw Kenny,
the legend. We all love Kenny. And he was off. Nori, like he's jumping up and down, like it's like, you know, because everyone was thinking the same thing. It's like, it's there, mate. Come on. And there you go. It's, you know,
it is a confidence thing with him, isn't it? And I just hope it's not one of those where some players, the confidence goes down and down and down. As long as he can just keep along, and he's got good people behind him. Gary's really good with him, and he's quite patient, isn't he? And he gives him a lot of confidence as well. But it's just not quite happening, and it will. It just perhaps it needs another couple of goals or something, and he might start firing. But yeah, no, I mean, he laid on 2 or 3 good chances.
Yeah,
you know, we didn't have a lot of chances, but he did. Well, I thought he played really well, but just that last bit, isn't it, at times.
Boys, I was on about Kai Brown first. Malk, John, anything about him?
Yeah, I always thought what an excellent player, top quality to bring in, and he had that kind of utility player type of thing about him, where you could play in most places, and he's quick to the ball and very positive going forward. But I think do you think the difficulty is you've got when you bring in players of a high standard, it's very difficult for all of them to be happy using a rotation thing, or I think if you're there at that standard, looking where you're going to move forward, you're thinking I need to be playing every week. So it goes both ways, doesn't it? The manager's got difficult choices to make in trying to keep your quality players happy and feeling engaged at the club, and them as individuals thinking, what's my next step? Do I need to be playing each game, and do I need to be finding a club where I can do that? But I don't know. It could be completely some other reason why he's moved on, and that's kind of between him and the manager, isn't it? With Gary trying to look out for what's best for the club.
Mm.
Yeah.
Malk, anything?
I like Kai. I was a big fan of Kai's. I must admit, and Craig backed me up with it. I like Kai. I think, unfortunately, he's a flair player, not a fair player, a flair player. And with the start we had to the season, you tend to, and that's why he found himself going down back onto the bench and being dropped and that type of thing. And because you tend to worry and think, well, let's get a few points in the bag first. And I don't really know what's gone on. All I know is he's left. But I was a big fan of him. But then I think we're all big fans of flair players, and and unfortunately, with the start to the season and that we got to look elsewhere and get points in the bag first.
Yeah. We've still got others that are not even on the bench at the moment. I mean, what's happened to Lloyd again? Lloyd Dawes. He seemed to be coming back, and now he's disappeared off his radar. Don't know what's going on there.
Maybe just couldn't make the bench. I mean, that's as we say, it's a strong bench.
Strong bench, yeah. But I'd like to see him if we have I don't know, maybe another FA trophy or something. Just try and get him a run out.
Yeah,
he needs a game or two, doesn't he? I don't know whether they're giving him. It's almost worth wondering whether he needs to go out on loan for a bit somewhere. Just to.
He had a run at Cray, didn't he? And the FA Cup, he had a run there.
Yeah.
Did he get an half? Didn't he get an half?
Yeah, and I thought he'd done okay. He went down pretty early on after he came on, and I thought, oh no, he's going to go here. He was holding his hamstring and different parts of him that maybe would have been injured, but he carried on. And I thought he done fairly well. But
and Ollie Black's another one, isn't he? He's not. Don't know whether he's still recovering from injury.
Yeah, that one I don't know anything about.
Nah.
But Kane's keeping him out of the team. If we're being honest, he's playing well enough to keep him out of the team.
Yeah. He is. It's quite nice to see both flanks look quite strong at the moment. Got one or the other, but they're actually quite a lot coming down the left. Because in the first half, I was in that corner where they were coming down towards that Cole Warren end, and it was quite busy down that side. And notoriously, the left-hand side at Pilot Field's always been a bit quieter than the right-hand side. But it was all right. It did. Yeah, I think he's doing really well. Yeah.
Well, talking about quiet, funnily enough, George was screaming and shouting that one of the coaches for Kingstonian looked like Thomas Tuchel, right? This is when George should be quiet, right? And he's banged on. I'm got no idea who he's on about. He was actually, because I think he needs his glasses sorting out. He was going on about Gary Elphick, that sit down, you're German, and all that sort of stuff. And he realised that he's actually going on about Gary Elphick. So Gary, do with him as you wish, mate. We'll endorse it. I'm sure we will. So as long as it's legal. Wills, let's quickly talk about you. You've been to Portugal. You've just went and see sport in Lisbon, didn't you?
Yes, Sporting. It was interesting. They of course, they just beat Tottenham as well on Tuesday, didn't they, in the Champions League? But
That must have upset you as an Arsenal fan.
I was mortified. It was worse walking around Lisbon yesterday before catching the plane home, and all the locals saying, "Oh, are you Tottenham? Are you here to see Tottenham?" But yeah, it was a. I don't know. It seems to be a little bit like Scotland. Dare I say, that you've got three major clubs that dominate, and that's the two in Lisbon, Sporting and Benfica, and then you've got Porto, of course. But it was a great day.
Yeah, who are they playing?
I can't remember the name of the club, but they were about fourth. And Porto Menens or something like, I don't know. And so it was a good club, but they demolished them 4-0. And so I kind of thought Tottenham are going to have a tricky time against this lot, although I think it went 0-0 right till the end, and then Sporting scored a couple of late goals, didn't they? I haven't seen, but yeah, it's Portuguese have got. It's one of those countries that have got a real passion for football, not like where we have World Cups played for money, but yes, yeah, it's just that typical European following and flair for football. I can't think of anything interesting to say about it, really.
That's all right. Did you go? The most important thing is, did you go to the Mourinho Museum? Yeah, the legend that is Mourinho. Did you go there?
Is that in Porto, though?
It's the whole of Portugal, isn't it? That's a Mourinho museum.
I don't know. You know, there is talk. I think about Ronaldo going back, because that was Sporting was his home club, and I think he's unhappy at Man U, and so they're getting excited about him going back there. You know,
it's going back there. Yeah, he ain't going back there. Yeah, he's too good.
Whether they could afford him or not, I don't know. It was nice. He's on 500,000 a week, isn't he? That's without the sponsorship. So, you know, I don't. They probably are a big enough club to deal with that. But yeah, that's quite a wage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not money. It wouldn't be money with Ronaldo. He wouldn't go there. He can play in better leagues than that.
I didn't know you were a Ronaldo fan.
No, he's still got it. What would you think? Malcolm's a football man. What do you think? Ronaldo, he ain't going to Portugal yet, is he?
He's not going back there yet. No, but he's still got it. He's still good enough. He keeps himself in good shape. So even at his age, he's still got it. But he's not going back there yet. But he will. I can see him going back there and finishing.
Oh, definitely.
There.
Hang on. I've got an idea. Right now that Kai Brown money's gone, do you think that maybe Gary was thinking, hang on, we've got that Kai Brown, we've saved that money. Let's have a cheeky little bid for Cristiano Ronaldo. What do we think?
They won't get in.
Okay, he's on the bench. We know that. Otherwise, Nori's mum's coming over, mate, and giving
He's
Gary
up a moped as we speak.
Yeah, the moped starts going to give Gary a thump.
It's on the wall behind you, John.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. There you go.
Yeah, go on.
I think it's what you're saying about Sammy Adams. Age is really just a label, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Sammy. If you took, we keep saying about the age, because it's just so amazing how he's. What the real truth is that he's in there on merit, isn't he? You know, if you forgot about everyone's age, you still pick him. He's got that determination. He's got that fitness, and so it's just. I think it's just amazing that even though he's had his testimonial about 15 years ago, he's there completely on merit, and for what he gives to the rest of the team as well. Yeah.
He literally run around the whole game, and not like a headless chicken, but excellent breaking up play, forcing them into mistakes. At the end of the game in the bar, because I stayed for a drink after the game, he's come in, he's buzzing, he's full of energy. You know, he's off with his, I think it was off with his family after the game, but he was saying goodbye to everyone, you know. And you think the amount you run round, you should be knackered.
That's just mad.
Crazy stuff.
He then goes down and has 12 points down to Nelson.
Yeah, probably does.
Yeah.
He's like his dad, he definitely does.
Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, well,
just got to mention the lino with his mullet.
Okay, please talk about it.
Oh God, he missed so many things on that. He's the one who was lining up on the doing the line on the bank side.
Yeah.
With a long blonde mullet. I thought he looked like he was a Kajagoogoo.
Oh, I haven't heard that for
Kajagoogoo style, you know, sort of. Yeah, he had a bad game, that bloke. He kept missing really obvious stuff.
He had a bad haircut at least.
Oh God, it was terrible. And one other thing, the tannoy, they've improved it at last. It has improved. I could hear things. I could actually hear things on that side of the pitch, which is great. Yeah, I mean, it does make. I know we've been going on about it, but it does make a difference. You're not going to get a 50-50 ticket unless you can hear the results. You're not going to bother wandering around just to see Barbara with a piece of paper in her hand.
I've never, in all the time I've been coming, ever heard the 50-50 results.
There you go. And it was much whether they made it clearer for the stuff with the Queen at the beginning, I don't know, but it certainly made a big difference. I mean, they did the announcement for the under 12s. Well done to them, by the way.
Yeah.
That was great, you know, and I could hear everything, every single word. And that was really, that's all we asked for, isn't it?
Normally can't hear it in the main stand.
That's true, actually. That's very true.
And it's a bit sad, you know, how many minutes silence have we sort of gone along with and clapped afterwards without knowing what on earth it was for?
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, that one at the beginning of the season from my mate Graham, there's loads of people say, what was that for? You know,
it's a kind of a bit rude, isn't it?
Yeah, when you did one, didn't you? Did a reading, didn't you? Last year, there was people asking what that was about, but it's because
that was Mickey Westborough, wasn't it? And we had a few, but
it's important, and it's I think they.
But maybe now we're not thinking of getting out of the ground, and we can actually start sort of bringing those things up to standard a bit more.
Maybe, be nice, wouldn't it?
Certainly would be.
Another big crowd too, wasn't it? Last night, biggest one in the league. Last night,
I didn't think there was many there, to be honest. But
786. So it's not bad for a Tuesday night in the rain, is it? Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that great when I heard it on the. Obviously, listened to Adam on the commentary, and I thought, oh, it's not great really after what we have been having. But when you looked at everyone else's, in comparison, it was really great.
And there are a lot of people, props. You know, I mean, don't know what your views are about the Queen and all that. There are people sitting at home glued to it, whether we, it's one of those things. It's how it happens, isn't it? Yeah. And it was raining. That stops people once you get a bit of rain.
You've got to be a bit fair weather as a football fan to not go because it's raining, though. I mean,
oh God, yeah. Oh blimey! I made sure I was wrapped up last night as well. There's a few people that went with shorts and t-shirts. In fact, I know somebody went home because he was too cold, but he was on holiday here from Australia. So,
but we're unusually for us. We're second in the league table of average attendances, but the only reason is that we took all those fans over to Lewis and gave them top spot at the moment.
Oh, right, yeah.
But we're
not... Even last night, I mean, Horsham played Lewis last night. I think it was 600 and something. It's not a massive gate, is it? It's almost a local derby for them.
Well, look at Averley. Fantastic start to the season. Won 5 out of 6, top of the table. They got 300 and something.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, imagine running out top of the table in a league you've just been promoted into, getting less than 400 people.
There was one team had 71.
Yeah, that was Brightlingsea and
Yeah.
those with a funny name from
That's
right
it.
in Essex, miles
Yeah.
away. But 71. I mean, does
Yeah,
that include the bar staff and the man on
Probably,
the?
yeah. Yeah.
I think you're
yeah.
right, Malcolm. 68 of them were staff.
Oh, those
might-
with a funny name.
It must be quite sad for the players just to be, out there. It must be difficult
Wow.
to motivate yourself if you're in front of a few people like that.
Yeah. And the boys behind the goal last night were really good again, weren't they? Nice and loud. Even the Kingstonian ones are quite loud for 5 of them.
Yeah.
That was a bit more than
No,
loud.
good on them for coming down.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
good on them for
Yeah.
coming down.
Yeah.
Well done them.
So, yeah.
Talking of away days, we got Cray Wanderers, didn't we, on Wednesday?
Yeah, they're doing all right. They won last night, didn't they?
They did. They beat Folkestone, didn't they?
Yeah, 4-2.
Yeah.
Away as well. So it's not going to be easy.
So who's going?
No, I can't. I'm working.
Yeah. Well, I'm working, but I might be able to get out early. And John Wills, there's someone called John Wills that might be able to give me a lift there. I'm not sure. I haven't asked him yet.
See, he set me up online.
Yeah, come on.
Do you reckon there's going to be any possibility of these early kickoffs that they're talking about? They're talking about possibly having early kickoffs because of the to keep the price of the fuel down with the floodlights and stuff. I'm hoping not, because I struggle to get for a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. Two would probably just that'd be it. I won't be able to go. So I'm hoping I might have to pay the balance on the electric fees just to make sure they kick it through.
Well, we need the war in Ukraine. If that stops, we might be all right. Then things might even themselves out. But
you never know.
that's the world. But
It's
yeah,
getting that way, I think.
hang on. Malk's called it. Have you got hang on. Have you and John Wills got Vladimir Putin's mobile number?
Yeah, that'll be over soon.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll be out. You won't see him much more.
No. Oh, hang on. You're a hitman as well, Malk. God,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man of many talents.
That's why Leon's not here.
Leon's doing his job at last.
Oh, of course, Leon, the film, yeah.
He has changed his job. Hasn't he? I didn't only found that out recently too. No more postman. He's out there. Special agent Petty.
Petite.
Yeah, Petty.
Anyway, so Malk, you'll be at the game, won't you? Cray game?
Yeah, it's home game for me. That is. Just
Yeah,
up the road,
say.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah,
What do you reckon? I think that's going to be a tough one. I think we get a draw though. I
it'll
think
be
we
a
could
tough
get a draw.
one. Yeah, if you can go away on a Tuesday night to Folkestone and get a 4-2 win, you're not a bad side.
Yeah,
It's gonna.
I'll be happy with the draw.
Yeah,
Draw.
So,
we don't seem to like Cray, do we? We don't perform anywhere where the name starts with a Cray.
yeah.
Because you were at that cup game, weren't you, Malk?
Oh, unfortunately, yeah. Never again.
Yeah. It's like the Corinthians one the season before. It's just
It's
it
worse than
happened.
that. Never
Oh, it
ever
was-
seen 14 players play so poorly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever did any good against the Crays.
no, the Crays.
Very good, very good. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
That's
On that-
terrible joke.
on
Yeah,
that,
we've got to
so
go
we-
now,
yeah,
Chris.
we've got to go. Thanks as ever to Agent Malk, the wonderful John Wills and Windy John.
Cheers.
Thanks, chaps, and I will see you at the game.
Yeah, nice man, mate.
Yeah.
Lads.
See you later, boys.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
That we stand up for.